Hej allihopa, välkomna, come on in. So today I was going to do a 1-year review of Boxycharm. So I got Boxycharm as a gift at the end of February 2019. I was extremely excited because I've been watching people for years do reviews of all these lovely things they got in their box, but I haven't been able to get it since I was living in Finland prior to this. So we ordered it at the end of February, and I thought I wouldn't be able to get February's box. However, they had some in stock and they sent the February's box to me as well. So I actually got February's box and March box really close together, and the first box, I will always remember what I got in it because it was a very special moment. So I gathered all the items that I received over the course of a year, and voila, these are them. I hadn't actually realized how much stuff I've gotten over a course of a year. I mean, you get 5 full-size items, it's quite a lot over a year. I don't actually have all the items left because some of them I've actually given away to friends and family. So as you probably know, not every box is exactly the same. So everybody gets a little bit of a different kind of box. So for some of the boxes, I do not have the card left to know what exactly I got in each box. So there are a few boxes that I wasn't 100% sure what I got, and then there's some boxes that they were missing items from. However, I did take some footage for you guys so you would be able to see what I got in each month's box. And after that, I'll get back to the review. Enjoy! So here we have the box for February 2019. This is the first box I received from Boxycharm, which I actually think is a really good box. As you can see, the mascara, the Too Faced mascara has been thrown out, but you know, after a year you should have thrown it out. That wasn't my favorite because I like waterproof mascara because my eyelashes will not stay curled with a regular mascara, but I did use it as a layering mascara, so I would put another waterproof underneath and then put that on top. So it was nice to be able to try it out because I've never tried it. I was also really excited to see the primer because I had wanted it for a really long time, but where I lived I couldn't get a hold of it. So the pretty Vulgar highlight is a really pretty color. However, I was worried it was going to be a little bit too dark for my skin tone. But I don't think it's too bad underneath. I don't know if you can see it, but I don't think it's too bad if I put it on top of a blush. I think it looks really pretty. And then last we have this lip pencil. Never heard of this brand, but actually I really like the color. So I have gotten a lot of use out of it. And they have a little primer, but this one I didn't use as much. So yeah, that was February's box. So here we have my March 2019 box. As you can see, there is one product that I cannot remember what it was. I have since tossed the card, so I couldn't check it. I just put a question mark. So the second thing that you probably noticed, this is just a little picture of the palette. This was a very lovely palette and I was super excited to get it. However, the colors did not suit me. I ended up getting my palette in light to medium. However, it was still too dark. I would have needed probably one that was for fair to light, but it was a lovely palette and my friend was really excited to get it, so I was happy to give it to her. Then we have this. It's a liquid eyeshadow in this gold color. Yeah, really not a fan. So to be quite honest, I have not touched this, but since it also is a liquid, I have not been able to give it to anybody. To some of my friends I might be able to give it, but to be quite honest, I don't really have any friends that use gold like this. So yeah, it's just stayed in my collection. I probably will declutter it. So then we have Wonder Beauty's Lift Off Peeling Mask. I'm actually surprised I still have this because this was not good for my skin. It broke me out. It made my skin all bumpy and lumpy. I did not like it. And since I did not like it and it was not good for my skin at all, I did not feel good giving it to anybody else because I don't want anybody else to start breaking out from it. So I'll probably declutter this real soon. And last but not least, we have these brushes. The thicker one I have not used a whole lot because it's a little bit too big for powder for me. I don't really get a lot of use out of brushes like this. However, this one is really nice for highlight. So I actually use this brush almost every day now, so that was the best thing I got in this box. And it was suitable for this palette. However, the palette didn't work for me. Yeah, but that was March box. So here we have the box for April 2019. So the theme was Peace, Love, and Boxy. So that is one of the boxes that I finally saved the card for. So the first and the biggest feature would be the PUR palette. And if you haven't seen, it looks like this inside. So this palette is a very orangey tone and it has a few glitters. The orangey colors are not my favorite, however, it is a very nice palette besides the glitters. These I do not like at all. I wish these were just eyeshadows instead of it. But this is the theme for the eyeshadows for 2019, so a lot of palettes were very orangey. Then we got some brushes from Luxie. These two I actually use quite a lot, but this one is a little bit plasticky. Maybe it would be good for the glitter eyeshadows, but I don't like it, so. But yeah, it's a nice brush. Then we got this pencil from Bodyography. It's in Bali Bronze and looks like that. So the color goes well with the palette. However, I have not gotten a lot of use out of it because it's a little bit too coppery for me. But it is a nice pencil, but it's not the nicest on. Like, it doesn't stay in your waterline and it is a little bit scratchy. So Then we got a lip gloss, a holographic lip gloss. Not really my cup of tea, but you know, I guess good for festivals and stuff. Let's put another layers. There you go. I don't know if you can see that. But I mean, it suits the theme, but it's not really a lip gloss that I would use like every day, so. And then last but not least is this Artist Couture highlighter. And as you can see, it has spilled out quite a lot, but it is a very yellowy highlight. And I was a bit nervous that it wouldn't suit me, but it does blend out to almost nothing. So on top of a blush, I do not think it's that bad. It is lovely. Maybe not a color I would have picked out for myself, but hey, that's the whole charm of Boxycharm. You get to try new stuff. So that was April 2019's box. So here we have the box for May 2019. So as you probably can see, the coconut water cream I do not have anymore. I did try it, I didn't like it, so I actually gave it away. For me, it wasn't hydrating enough for my dry skin. And then we have the Alamar Cosmetic blush palette. Mine is in the medium to tan, which I was a little bit worried it would be too dark. However, with a light hand, this is really lovely. Actually, I'm kind of hoping they will have the bronzing one in one box, because I would be really excited to get that, as long as I get the right shade though. But these are absolutely lovely. So as you can see, with a light swatch, they are not too dark. So I love that one. Then we have a eyelash curler from PUR Cosmetics. It is a beautiful like oil slick color. However, this is not my favorite. You can see I have used it. Sorry, it's a bit dirty, but this is not my favorite. It takes a really long time to curl your eyelashes with this. So I prefer my Ciate one, but you know, it's an okay backup one. It just takes forever with my stubborn lashes to try to curl them with this. And then we had a eyeluster from Ciate. It is a very pretty color. However, now that I look at it, it is a really pretty color. I wonder why I haven't been using more of it. Because if I didn't want it over my whole eye, I could put it in the corner of my eye. That's beautiful. I need to whip this out more. And then the last product is from Orytza, and it is a lip gloss. Again, this is not my favorite kind of lip gloss. It's very chunky and glittery, and yeah, I don't really care for this on my lips, but you know, it's nice and sparkly. So yep, that was May's box for 2019. So here we have the box for June 2019. The theme was Getaway, and surprisingly, I only have one product left from this box. I was quite shocked when I saw that, but the No Poreblem Prime Essence is really lovely, and I actually have used quite a bit of it. I still have some left, but I really like that. The rest, not so much. So we got a Saint-Tropez self-tanning classic mousse. I don't self-tan, so that was a big no for me. The eyeshadow palette from Tarte wasn't really my color scheme, and Tarte eyeshadows don't last on my eyelids. They always start creasing and fading really quickly, so I gave it to one of my friends. I asked her if it's a color she likes, and she was like, yes. And I just, well, here you go, you can have it. So this dirty little secret pen, I couldn't find anywhere, and I was looking and looking, and then I remembered, I think I gave it to my sister. And the same goes for the Dominique Cosmetics lip gloss. So the lip gloss looks like that. I actually really liked it. However, I think the color suited my sister better, so I actually ended up giving it to her. And I have a suspicion I actually gave the lip liner to her too, because I think these were a really nice match. So that's where I think they went. But yes, this one I really liked from this, and the priming essence I really liked. But the rest, meh, it was an okay box. I mean, the Tarte eyeshadow is really lovely if you like Tarte eyeshadows. However, I do not, so. And I don't self-tan, so for me that was a bit of a waste. But I gave it to my sister, and she was happy because she's wanted to try the Saint Tropez self-tanning lotions and mousses. So, but they're quite expensive, so she was happy to get that to try. Yep. So that was June's box. So here we have the box for July 2019. The theme was all naturale, which it is quite natural, this box. So the first item from Alamar Cosmetics, you might notice that I don't have anymore. It was a very, very nice lip gloss. However, I feel the color Croqueta, I think you say, was not really my kind of color. It didn't look bad on me. It was light enough, but not brown enough to look like I have chocolate on my lips. But I just felt like the color wasn't the best for me. So I let my sister try it, and the color really, really suited her. So I gave it to her, and now it's in a happy home. So then we have a mask from Elemis. It's the Superfood Vital Veggie Mask. I actually really like this mask, but I haven't used it a lot. And I think the reason being is a mask that you have to rinse off. And I'm a bit lazy, but I really need to get back into using it because it is a lovely product. So then we have the Butter London Eyeshadow Palette. It is a very natural palette. However, I did wish it would have had more mattes than these two. So these are all shimmers, which are lovely colors, very subtle shadows. But these are quite dark, or this brown is very dark, and then we have a blue, how should I show you? A blue like that. So as you can see, there isn't a lot of transition colors, but it is a nice palette, and I have gotten some use out of it. I just use it in conjunction with other palettes. So then we have this eyeliner, gel liner from Appeal in Forest Green. So it's a wooden eyeliner that you have to sharpen. Oh, and it is quite soft. It is a very soft formula. However, it's not very nice in the waterline. It doesn't really want to stick to the waterline, and it doesn't really look nice underneath the on the lower lash line. So yeah, not my favorite. I use it every now and then, but this is an item that might get decluttered soon. And then last but not least, we have these brushes from Luxie. I use this one a lot. This one not so much because I don't really use makeup brushes like this. I have used it to put on the mask though, so I use it sometimes for that. So this one stays in my skincare cabinet. And then this one is quite plasticky, the bristles, so I don't really use it that much. I wish it was a little bit more softer and a little bit more like this one, but a small detail brush. But yeah, this one I use a few times a week at least when I'm doing my makeup. So yeah, that was July's box. So here we have the box for August 2019, and the theme was totally. So one of the exciting products was the Becca Hydra Mist Set and Refresh Powder. So if you haven't heard about this powder, this is the one that feels cooling and a little bit wet on your skin. However, after having it for a while, it stopped feeling like that. So this is the outer packaging. And then it says, keep me close to keep me cool. However, as I said, after a while, it just stopped feeling hydrating. It still feels really nice, but yeah, it's a powder. I was really excited to get the powder. However, I wish the wet feeling would last, but it goes away after a while. And I have kept it close, so it's not that. It's just, it doesn't stay like that forever after you open it. Then we have this Big Ego mascara from Tarte. It has a huge wand. It was nice to get, but as I said, I prefer waterproof mascaras because this one won't keep my lash curled. So I have used it as a topper. I prefer the Too Faced mascara for using as a topper, but it was okay. Not my favorite though. So then we have this Glow Ahead Illuminating Facial from Wonder Beauty. So it looks like that. It is really pretty and it feels nice. I do use this every now and then when I put makeup on. I don't put it on if I'm using SPF because I don't know how the oils will react to my SPF. But on days that I'm not using SPF, so say at night if we're going out, I use it and it feels really, really nice. So then we got these two eyeshadows from Ace Beauty. They remind me of the ColourPop eyeshadows. However, as you can see, they haven't been touched a lot by me, and that is because of the colors. The gold one is really pretty, and so is the pink one. However, these are not really colors that I use very often, so they haven't been getting a lot of love from me, which is a shame because they are very pretty and they do feel a lot like the ColourPop ones. I just worry that the pinky one will make me look sick, so that's why I haven't used it. Then last but not least is a lip liner from Steve Laurent, and it's in the color Vogue. I actually really, really like this pen. It is a very nice neutral color, and I actually use this a ton, so I would highly recommend it. I would actually purchase this, even though I prefer a lip liner that you can just screw up. This one you have to sharpen, but I really, really like it. So this one gets a lot of use for me. So yeah, that was August box for 2019. So one thing to note, I don't know if you can see the faint color, but this one actually stained my hand a little bit. So that was a nice surprise. So here we have the box for September 2019, and the theme was all axes. So let's start with the most exciting thing in my opinion, and it was a palette from Violet Voss, and it's the Essentials palette. So this actually comes in a bigger palette, and then they made it smaller for Boxycharm, so it has less colors. And it is very pretty. I really like it. However, as you can see, it's very orangey and warm. So not my favorite, but I have used it a bit, and I guess it could have done with a little bit of a clean. I'm sorry, I forgot to clean it before this. But it is a nice palette, and these shadows actually stay on my eyes for a long time. So I really like it, and I actually would want to try more Violet Voss eyeshadows after trying this. So then there's another item that you can see that I do not have anymore, and it's a MAC lipstick in the color CB96. So this is a frosted lipstick in a kind of orangey red color. Did not suit me at all, but I asked my friend if she likes colors like that, and she said yes, so I gave it to her. So it got a nice good home. I really wish they would have had another color, because those frosted lipsticks is not my thing, but you know, some people like it, so I'm sure other people were really happy to get it. I just personally didn't like it. So then there was the Dr. Brandt Hydrobiotic Recovering Sleeping Mask. This one, as you can see, has been well used. So there is still a little bit left in it. I have used it a lot. It is really nice. However, I don't know if I would pay as much as it is myself, but it was a lovely product and I was really happy to get it in my Boxycharm. So then we got a set of 5 brushes from Moda, I think, and they've been nice. However, for example, this one, the barrel is very wide, and I kept on poking my eyeshadows with it, and I wish the design was a little bit better, so this one could have been a little bit more pinched, because I keep on damaging my eyeshadows, thinking it would be, I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, this is not my favorite. So these two I actually use a whole lot. I'm sorry if you can see, my hand is super glittery. That Ciate eyeluster went everywhere when I tried to clean it off. So anyway, that might be why I don't use it. But anyway, these I use all the time. I really like them, especially for like liquid eyeshadows. They are great. And then the last product is from Laura Geller, and then it's one of their beautiful highlights. Mine is in Ballerina. I really wish they would have sent me another color. It is a beautiful, beautiful highlighter. However, as you can guess, it's quite dark for me. When you blend it out, it works. I can use it, but you do see a dark cast. But if you don't mind that, I mean, it's okay. And it is beautiful. However, I really wish I would have gotten another color, lighter one. So yeah, here you have the September box for 2019. So here we have October's box for 2019. Apparently I threw away the card for this one, which, I mean, surprise, surprise, who hoards stuff like that? Apparently I do. So one of the items I know a lot of people were really excited about was the Dose of Colors palette. So I got it in Sassy Sienna, and as you can see, super orangey. And these are not my colors. Also, Dose of Color eyeshadows do not stay on my lids. So actually, I ended up giving this palette away. So I don't have it anymore. For some reason, I ended up saving the cardboard box, I don't know. But after this, it will go into the recycling. And then we have the iconic London's Prep Set Glow Spray. It is beautiful, and as you can see, it has all these beautiful glitter in it. However, I was a little bit nervous to see all that glitter, so it doesn't show up super noticeably on your skin if you're wearing it at night. But yeah, I kind of wish it didn't have all that shimmer in it, but it is nice and it's not super obvious, so I get use out of it every now and then. So then there was this eyebrow gel from Mellow. It looks like that. However, I'm not a huge fan of the color for me, so it hasn't gotten a lot of love. Then there was a mascara from, oh, that one's running away. Then there was a mascara from Hank and Henry. I had two different ones like this. Doesn't hold a curl, so it hasn't gotten a lot of love from me. Then last but not least is a kohl eyeliner. Yeah, I don't have much to say about this. It feels a little bit rough on the eyes, so I have not really used it. And to be honest, a lot of kohl eyeliners have a tendency to smudge on me, so yeah. These wooden eyeliners, not my favorite thing. Here we have October's box for 2019. So here we have the box for November 2019. And the theme was Stellar. This was actually the first box that you could choose one item, and I ended up choosing the Kypris Antioxidant Dew Serum. It is a nice serum. It has a nice dropper like that. It's kind of milky. It is lovely. However, to be quite honest, I have not noticed a huge change. I have used it quite a bit, but I haven't noticed a big change in my skin. At least it hasn't made anything worse. But I think the $90 price point is quite high. So then we have the Tula Skincare Face Mask, Probiotics and Superfoods, Star Bright, Nourishing and Brightening Cosmic Hydrogel Mask. The mask felt really nice on my skin. However, my skin broke out after I used it, so I didn't feel comfortable using the other one because I wasn't sure if that was what broke me out or not. But maybe I should try again. It might not have been that, so I might give it another go since I still have one mask left. Then there was, from Dose of Color, one of their liquid matte lipsticks. I have heard tons of good things about it, and I got mine in Nude Mood. I was really disappointed when I took the lipstick out of the box because I thought it would be a nice color like this, but it was a lot more brown. And the actual container broke. So one day I wondered why something was leaking, and I noticed the whole thing came apart. So I guess the packaging wasn't very good. I probably would have been more disappointed if I really liked the color, but since I didn't like it, I didn't really mind. But yeah, they could really work on the packaging. So this was the first box that Boxycharm put their own brushes in, and these are these kind of artiste brush kind of brushes. However, they're not my favorite. They're very, very dense, and yeah, I might give these away to somebody who likes brushes like that, but they weren't my favorite. And then, last but not least, was a nice eyeshadow palette from Dominique Cosmetics in Celestial Thunder. So it looks like that. It is really, really beautiful. I like it. However, as you can see, orange tones again. The real palette actually comes with more colors. So this is just a selection of a few of the eyeshadows, but it is a beautiful eyeshadow palette. It does last nicely on my eyes. However, I wish it had more blending tones than these, but it is nice. And I'm actually considering picking something up from Dominique Cosmetics after this because I really, really like the eyeshadow formula, especially for the mattes. That was November's box for 2019. So here we have the Boxycharm for December 2019, and the theme was Whimsy. So the Whimsy theme is suitable because they have this Fairy Tales Storybook Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. So this is the one in Little Riding Hood. As you might guess, looking at the colors, not my favorite colors. Wish they were another color. I saw somebody got the Robin Hood one, and I would have preferred that one. These eyeshadows feel nice, however, not my favorite color, so I don't get a lot of use out of it. I might try to give this to somebody else who might like it more than I do. So then we have a lip scrub from Seraphine Botanicals. Not my favorite lip scrub. It doesn't have a lot of scrubbing particles, so, but I keep it around. I get use out of it maybe every now and then, but really not my favorite. So with this box, you could actually choose which item you wanted, and I chose the LMS Pro Collagen Rose Facial Oil. So the bottle looks like this. It is a really, really nice oil. It has a dropper like that. You don't need much. It's very runny. It feels really nice and hydrating on my skin. So I really actually enjoy this item. So yes. Then we have from Brow Bar, one of their True Brow Makeover Kits. So the Brow Bar looks like this. I'm not a huge fan of this. It's nice that it comes with its little brush, but like this color, I guess it's a concealer, but I have no use for it. And these brow colors, like this one, the first one, okay, I can see myself using it, but that one, too red for me. And even though I have naturally like reddish brown hair, this is too red for me. So I don't really know how many people will actually really like this. And this brow gel is actually clear, so not my favorite. If it had different colors, I probably would have liked it a lot more. And then last but not least is this blush from Ciate. So the packaging is really nice, and the blush looks like that. I do like this blush quite a lot. On my fair skin, it does show up. You have to build it up a little bit, and it is very glowy. But I don't know how many other people can use this. If you're not very fair, I just don't see how it will work for you, but I like it and I will use it. So yeah, that was December's box for 2019. So here we have January's box for 2020. The theme was Breaking the Ice. So the item that I chose for this box was from Dr. Brandt, and it was their retinol eye cream. So I didn't notice a huge change when using this, but I prefer my other one that I use. But it's a nice eye cream, and it didn't irritate my eyes, so that's very important to me. Then we have the Too Faced highlighter. If I'm being honest, I'm not hugely impressed. I mean, it's okay. It's nothing super special about it. It's very subtle. I get that it looks like a jewelry box, but I find it very bulky to store. The color isn't anything super extra, so I might give this to somebody else, but it is okay. So then we have from Skin Co. their face gommage. So this is a exfoliating face gommage. Not a huge fan. It's too abrasive. I don't really like physical exfoliators, so I don't really know what I'm gonna use it for. I might use it for my hands. On my hands it would be fine, but not on my face. It irritated my face. It was too rough. So then we have this Power Up Dual Face Setting Mist. So this one is the one that you have to shake up. It feels really nice. However, I don't know if people with oily skin would like this, but on my dry skin, it feels nice. And if you have a lot of powders on it, it sets the powders really nicely. I would probably spray this before I use my eye makeup, so it doesn't disrupt my eye makeup, but it is really nice and I really like it. And then the last item was from Mana, and it's a liquid lipstick. The color is not something I would choose for myself, but it is nice. It feels very whipped and nice. Haven't used it a whole lot, but yeah, I'll keep it in my collection for now and try it out. So yeah, that was January's box for 2020. So then there was the last box, and this one is for February 2020. So this is the last box, which runs up a whole year, actually one box over a whole year. So in this box we got brushes from Alamar Cosmetics. They are really, really soft and nice. Especially these two I probably will get quite a lot of use out. This one I'm not so sure. So they say it's supposed to be a bronzing brush. However, for me it's a little bit too dense for bronzer, but I'll have another use for it, I'm sure. It is really, really nice and soft. So then the items that I chose for this box is from Kate Somerville, and it's their KX Active Concentrate. I have been using it, however, I haven't noticed a huge difference in my skin, but at least it doesn't irritate my skin. I think to see a good benefit, I need to use it a little bit more than just a few weeks. So one product I was really excited to see was the First Aid Beauty Facial Radiance Pads. So I actually used to use these all the time, but at some point I couldn't get a hold of them in Finland, so I always had to order them. And at some point I just decided, you know, enough is enough, I'll try something else. And they kind of faded out of my skincare, but getting them back, I'm kind of tempted to buy more because I'm almost out. Like, as you can see, there's only a few pads left, and I actually really miss these, so I might actually go and repurchase more. So then we have a powder from Ciate London. I just have it like that because it's super reflective, so I don't want you to see my mess. So the powder is just a white powder like this. It's finely milled, very nice. Has a hint of coconut scent, but as you can see, it only has this to cover it. And I wish it had one of those twisty things so you could actually close it, because now it's getting everywhere every time I move it. And then the last product is Refreshing Cleansing Hemp Wipes from Evio Skin Aurora. I don't use cleansing wipes, but I have been using these for swatches, so it comes in handy, but yeah, don't really care for wipes. The only good thing I would say with these is that they are biodegradable, so that's really good. So yeah, that was February's box for 2020. So I did do a look using a lot of the items I've received over a course of a year from Boxycharm, and I'll let it roll here if you're interested to see how they perform. So let's get into the review. So as you may know, you are able to get Boxycharm in a few different sizes. So I get the regular one, so I can't comment on the bigger sizes. However, for me, I feel like the $25 one is enough. So even though it is a gift, I do get it each month. And I think $25 is an okay amount to spend on items that you are not 100% sure you're gonna love. I'd rather put the rest of the money on items that I need and use and know I love, if that makes any sense. But each your own. If you can afford to get the more expensive boxes, go ahead. Anyway, so you get 5 full-size items in the box. You get a lot of brands that you might not have heard of or not been able to try before. For example, Touch and Soul was something I really wanted to try, but I wasn't able to get it where I used to live. So now I got to try it in my February box. It was the first time. I was like, yes! So I found over the years a lot of items I really love, and then there's been duds that I didn't really care for. The one thing that I do wish is that they would be more specific on people's skin tones. So for me, example, I'm very fair, and some of the items are just too dark for me, too pigmented for me. So Boxycharm does have you fill out a questionnaire of what kind of hair color you have, what kind of products you're interested in, what kind of skin tone you have, and such. However, they do not utilize it as of now that much yet. So they have actually sent out some testers for some concealers and some foundations, but they don't really cater for that yet. So I have gotten some items that I've ended up giving away because they haven't been suitable for my skin tone. Like for example, the Cover FX palette was beautiful, but it was too dark for me. I had to give it away. Or I mean, I could have kept it, but then I wouldn't have ended up using it and it would have been a waste. The same goes for the Alamar Cosmetics palette that I got, the Blush Trio. It's meant for medium to tan people, and I'm definitely not medium or tan. So I was worried I wasn't going to be able to use that. However, if you share it out, you can. You just have to have a very light hand. So that is something I wish they would take more into consideration. But then we have some products that isn't actually their fault, but the colors are just off. Like this palette from Brow Bar. I mean, it comes in light, which, okay, yeah, fine. But the colors are not very universal. I don't see how that many people will get use out of it. But maybe that's just my opinion, but yes, I'm not a huge fan. Then there's also some of the wooden eyeliners that I didn't really like because they're kind of stabby and they feel kind of cheap. I'm just gonna say it. I'm more a fan of the ones that you can twist up. I find them more easy to use and usually a little bit better, but of course that's my personal opinion. But I do have to say a lot of the wooden ones have felt kind of cheap and not to the price point that they tell you they are. So there has been some controversy about some of the items in the boxes. Some of the skincare items people have actually asked if they are actually worth the price that they're being given. And then there's been also some formula changes that seem a little bit questionable. But then there's also been questions about, for example, this eyeshadow palette. So usually Storybook Cosmetics, they produce their eyeshadows in US. This one was actually made in China. So one of the other items was the Ciate London Marble Blush. Apparently these are usually made in Italy, but now it had been made in China. So people were questioning and wondering why they're changing it. So I think Jen Love's reviews actually put it pretty well. So imagine how much it costs to produce something in US or in Italy, and then compare the prices in China. So they want to collab with Boxycharm. Boxycharm says, hey, this is the price we would pay for the item, and then these companies need to find a way to make them as affordable as they can. What do they do to be able to make them affordable? They probably start producing them somewhere else. So they make a big batch somewhere else because it's too expensive to do the same thing in the US or in Italy. And for me, that actually makes a lot of sense. Companies are there to make a profit, but my question is, if you do this and the formula is not exactly the same, will that make me want to buy your product? For me, I would say probably not. For example, the Ciate London Marble Blush. It looks really nice, however, the pigment isn't really there. I do understand that it's supposed to be like that, and it's kind of like the hourglass ones, but I actually prefer the hourglass ones. So it doesn't make me want to buy their product. So my question is, if you do that, and I don't like the product that you're putting in Boxycharm's box, I'm probably not gonna go out of my way to get your items from somewhere else. So for a lot of these brands, my first contact is through Boxycharm. And if they change the ingredients in a lot of these items, and they're not working as well as the original version is, I might not want to go out and buy it for that $90. So I'm asking, is it really worth it? Because you won't win a new customer, because I was like, this is not that great. $90? Psh, no. Then I won't purchase it. It was nice to get it. I got to try it, but I might not be interested to buy that particular item again. And I may be less likely to actually buy something else from you. That's just my 2 cents on the matter. However, there has been a lot of items that I really like, then there's been some items that I don't really like. So for me, the downers have been, they don't really cater to skin tones. I've gotten a lot of items that are a little bit too dark for me. Say the Laura Geller highlighter, beautiful, too dark, way too dark for me. And then we have something that is probably more specific to me, but is all the warm tone eyeshadow palettes. I mean, there have been beautiful eyeshadow palettes, so I just wish they would vary the colors that they put in. I do know that the Storybook Cosmetics did come in Robin Hood, which was a green palette, which I really, really wish I would have gotten, because that would have been a lot more catered for me, as you can probably see from the eyeshadows today. But anyway, yeah. So that I wish they would have a little bit more variation in the colors. I know it's been a big trend, but I'm just like, oh, please choose something else, a little bit different. But so I'm kind of hoping 2020 will bring some other eyeshadows than warm tones. So in conclusion, I really like getting Boxycharm each month. I love being able to test out new brands that I haven't tested out before. I got in a lot of items I like. There have been some items I haven't liked, but as I said, I wish they maybe would cater a little bit better to people's personal preference and skin tone. But for now, I'm really happy with the boxes and getting to try out new brands and trying out new eyeshadow formulas, because eyeshadows are my favorite. So I'm gonna leave it for here now. Maybe I'll do another update next year, who knows. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys real soon. Later!